University, and I've always enjoyed and have presented similar topics in the past to the faculty and have enjoyed it. Today we're going to talk about listen to the beat of the drum, and this is all about the trends and the indicators that are beyond COVID. Of course, we know the situation that we're faced with COVID and the situations that we're facing with pandemic that's now been going on for well over a year. And we probably need to focus a little bit on that COVID situation first, and work out what we're going to see beyond that as well. The first thing I'd like to talk to you about is more on the macro trends, and specifically having a look at what that means. If we talk about macro or mega trends, as some people talk about, what we're really referring to are forces of change that are going to fundamentally shift either the world or a region or a country or an industry to a large degree. We're not talking about specific small movements here. We're talking about major elements that we know for sure is going to shape or change the markets or the countries or so forth that we're looking at. And we'll have a look at specifically those. So things that we know are going to change, how they change, and what changes as a result, of course, is still open. And that becomes the challenge when we look at all the patterns around the information that we're looking at to cover these off. So in today's session, we're going to have a look at the COVID situation, and I'm going to explain a little bit more about how that works. And then we're going to talk about the overall trends and having a look at those. So specifically, I'm going to talk about, again, things that will change, that we know will definitely change, and those things will be a pattern that exists. So urbanization has been occurring and will continue to. Social and demographic changes, so we'll have a look at those. We'll have a look at specifically on technology, because technology is a core area, although the influence on change varies, and I'll talk more specifically on that. We'll talk about retail, and we'll talk about the media and entertainment environment and have a look at those. Okay, so that's what we'll do in the next 2 hours. Some of the session here, I'll ask for some responses back. So for those people who are wide awake and are following along, then feel free to take your mute button off when I ask you a few questions, because I'd like to get your feedback on this. Again, it's a session that we're doing via remote, so it's a little bit harder to do, but I prefer to do this interactively in the room, but unfortunately, obviously we can't do that. So let's have a look at the overall firstly, but before I will, let me go back. On my company, I need to tell you a little bit about our company, because our company itself is a technology-based company, and we look at two parts of the business there, Buzzy Bees and Market Buzz. The Buzzy Bee part of the business was the first to arrive here, and actually one of the first pioneer companies to build applications for our clients and run privilege programs to them for those clients. So nowadays you have many clients with, let's say, your banks will have them, or maybe even your retail or other different services. Or if you have a Samsung phone will have a Galaxy Gift or Galaxy Rewards on it. And if you open them up, we reward our customers with many different types of whether it's prizes or whether it's just discounts at particular stores. And effectively, it's reshaped the way in which we're looking at how we bring loyalty to our corporate partners, such as Samsung, or it's also rewarding all the customers of Samsung and offering them all sorts of rewards and prizes, as we mentioned, and also opportunities such as upgrading phones and everything else. So connecting people through a mobile device and rewarding them in a way in which it's connecting that corporate partner to their customers in a meaningful way. And then market buzz is my part of the business, and we look at all the data that's collected also behind that. So we study it, we research it, we look at things like these big trends that are occurring in Thailand, and we're also asking people many different questions around what they do, how they behave, what they use, what their attitudes are towards different things about Thailand, and getting their feedback back for our corporate partners as well. So that's our business, and it's important because we're also studying all these key elements around the trends as well. I think the second thing about it, has been mentioned, is that I'm also the president of the Thai Market Research Society, which brings together all the leading professionals in the market research industry, and brings them together to make our industry and our standards within inside the industry as best as possible. And that includes also the academia side as well, which we're happy to have involved. So that's our company. That's what I do on a day-to-day basis, and I'll share with you the trends. Again, we can't take away from the situation that we're in at the moment and what we've been living for over a year now. It's a global situation which has created significant upheaval to the world and to Thailand in particular. And you know, when we've looked at all these different elements around it, so whether it's working from home or schools being closed and us having to adapt to the new environment in which we're working with, such as Zoom calls and MS Teams, or social distancing and all the key hygiene elements around it, it's changed our lives in many different ways. Not only just eating or living our lives that way, it's certainly changed a lot of businesses, and it's certainly made sure that we are trying to prepare ourselves for the future. And not all of it's been positive, but there also has been some positive elements that are slowly coming through. But what we will know, as we see the future arising, we're all waiting for the vaccine program now to